Welcome to the Salt and Light Serve Spotlight, brought to you by itsonlyhomeschooling.com, a website devoted to advocacy, community, and resources for homeschooling children with learning differences. In this podcast series, we highlight those who embody a servant's heart, both individuals and organizations, changing lives one act of service at a time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show. My name is Kimberly Bennett, and I am your host. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for giving us a listen. A little bit about me. I am a licensed professional counselor turned homeschool mom of one. I am also an advocate for homeschooling children with learning differences. But my real passion is community outreach and service. For more of my story and background, feel free to listen to episode 1 or check out my website at itsonlyhomeschooling.com. In episode 16, we introduced you to Devra Waterman, founder of Script'Morium Ministries in Tecumseh, Oklahoma. We learned about Devra and her family's efforts to rescue and revive an amazing homeschool outreach ministry that has been serving the families of Oklahoma and the greater United States for over a decade. We learned about the history of Script'Morium, from its humble beginnings as the Book Samaritan to its transformation as the OK Book Shack, and finally, how it has come full circle as now Script'Morium Ministries. We listened as Devra shared her personal journey as a second-generation homeschool mom. We felt inspired as Devra shared how her family answered when God put the call of service on their hearts to keep this philanthropic practice of paying it forward alive. Tithing with their time and finances, this family is on a mission to support educators. Today, in part 2, we continue our conversation with Devra. In episode 17, we learn about some of the challenges and achievements Devra and her family have faced in their education ministry. We also hear about Devra and her husband's dreams for the future of Script'Morium and learn ways the community can offer support. Let's listen. Well, it sounds like the Script'Morium has been a family project, like the whole family has been involved. What would you say has been some of the challenges that you have experienced with it thus far? Challenges and accomplishments. How about that?
Yeah, definitely there have been some challenges. Once we got the go ahead and we got the location and everything, it's been getting everything set up that has been rough because, like we talked about a little bit off sideline, that I've been a full-time student all last year online, and that really just kind of robbed a lot of my time that I intended to have to donate to the Script'Morium. So we also had to wait for some more funding, personal funding, because we were paying for shelving, trying to figure out the design on the inside, how we wanted to get the most out of the space. So we lined the walls with shelves, and then we decided we still have enough space to put a row down the middle. So we bought more shelves. I'm waiting to put up the last 3. So trying to get the time to really get out there and get the space set up so that it's fully ready just for the influx, the incoming and the outgoing. We've had to add solar lighting and a solar exhaust fan because we do not have climate control out there. And my husband's been helpful with doing that. But it's just been, and then there's just a lot of, books are heavy. There's just been a lot of moving books. So we get the donations, and then my kids are really instrumental in helping us load them up in the back. I'm actually a disabled veteran, so I have to be careful with some of the physical work that we do. I'd be conscientious of that. So yeah, just getting all that in there. And now we're at the point where we're trying to decide like how we're going to section things off, where we're going to put geography and self-helps or all-in-ones, and trying to make it so that the space is utilized appropriately for the right amount of the topics and whatnot. And I have a lot of people that have said they want to come volunteer. I put the call out and say, hey, have you ever dreamed of being a librarian? come on out, I'll let you play. Just, but the biggest struggles have just been the time for me to feel that I can get out there, lay the foundation for the organization, and then kind of do a little bit more of the hands off and be like, here you go, just point and shoot, just go. So yeah, there's been a little bit of the physical labor side of things, and then the actual just mental capacity that can be a little bit of a challenge, because I'm just now this month, praise God, getting into a place where I can start going out every week and trying to get that organized and trying to organize the volunteers a little bit more so we can get it all set up.
Speaking of volunteers, how are you? You've put out a call, so you put that out on your Facebook page. You have a Script'Morium Facebook page?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
have an individual chat now. There's really no, I mean, can you read? Obviously, I mean, I guess really, now I should specify, there is a little bit of a learning curve on how to look at a book, a curriculum, and say, what is this topic? Because sometimes if you're not familiar, you don't know if it's science, you don't know if it's social studies. I mean, some of the English stuff and math are pretty obvious, but there's some ambiguity in some of those other curriculums that can be a little challenging. And I'm not going to care if it gets put in the wrong shelf. I am just thankful. It's a blessing if the person's looking for it, or, you know, they'll know what they know when they see it. But I've been challenged in that, just in doing this unloading. It's like, what is this book? I'm not familiar with, you know, and there's in the level of variety of curriculum that's out there is so overwhelming. But it's fun too, because it's kind of like a treasure hunt. You never know. And that was actually another part to it that I wanted to mention, that the beauty of it is it's a sample shop. So if you don't know if you want to buy into a full curriculum or not, you can come to the Script'Morium, get one or two of the pieces maybe, because we don't necessarily have full sets. You can try it out or look through it, even just thumbing through it to say, does this look like it would help work with our system? Or do I think my kids would like this? Or can I teach this? You know, that's important sometimes, just having physical practice copy samples to go with, then deciding, you know, do I want to pursue and go ahead and invest in now this full curriculum, which can cost hundreds of dollars or more. That's kind of a nice piece of just being able to go through. And volunteers, I've told them, I said, shop while you're there, get what you think you might want. I don't care, take it all. If you don't like it, guess what? You can bring it back. It's not a big deal. Absolutely. So there's that kind of thrift store kind of vibe that it's like, no, just try it. I've had people look at me like, is this okay? I was like, yeah, please take it.
That's the point.
That's the point. Yes, exactly.
That's the whole point. I think sometimes almost when things are kind or given to us, we almost kind of look at it like, are you sure?
There's a catch. There's a string somewhere. Exactly. Yes. No strings. It's a blessing. Be blessed. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so true. It is a blessing. Be blessed. Also, turn around and pay it forward and bless back when you're done. And that is what it's all about. If you can keep that going, that is what will keep it alive. And that's what spoke to your heart, to keep it alive and keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the whole point of the Salt and Light Serve Spotlight is we want to encourage people to make service a healthy habit in their homes, to volunteer, to participate in community outreach, and to support programs such as yours, the Script'Morium, where you are really giving back and feeding back into the homeschool community. There's such a beautiful thing about homeschoolers. We are here to support one another and lift one another out. So I'm hoping to get the word out so we can help them lift up Script'Morium. What are some ways that people can support Script'Morium? How can we help you out?
Honestly, the biggest support right now is I need people to come take curriculum. Since we've got the building up, and we've been continuing to get donations because we were keeping that support from the Bibliomania out in Tulsa active. We didn't want to lose that connection. We have been going, even though we were closed for over a year, still getting the donations. And we were using my friend's her rental house. We pretty much maxed it out. And now we also have an additional storage unit that my husband's and I's tithe is covering as a monthly fee. We'll probably keep that storage unit as kind of a staging in and out kind of spot. The ideal is to start really moving a lot of this out. And if I can get people just to come shop, and I apologize for it not being super organized yet. My hope and dream is to have that really good and going by the fall. but we're going to be open all year, and I just need people to come out and look through stuff and take buckets and boxes and bags away, and just so I can start pulling from our reserve and bringing that in. And ultimately, anybody that wants to volunteer, because if you want to be like volunteer for a couple hours because you just want to sit there and take your time, that is also welcome. I am pretty much not going to turn away anybody. I really can't see the point in doing that. Anytime. And then, just, yeah, anybody that feels like they want to give back, that's the best. Now, for others, I know that have been some who said, well, I just don't have the time, but I really want to help. We do take the cash donations. We just don't use them directly for the Script'Morium. We go ahead and pass those on to the church grounds that we're borrowing because they're being so benevolent with the space. And we're trying to just shift that to them. But we are not a registered 501c3. I don't have any intention of doing that. The paperwork gets a little overwhelming. And ultimately, since we're getting most of our stuff from the Bibliomania, they handle that on their end already. And I've done taxes for years, and I was like, nobody's really going to use that receipt. They're really not. The standard deductions usually beat that away. And so I know enough to tell people, I was like, people use that as a marketing ploy. I get that. And I'm not trying to dog anybody that actually does run 501c3s because there are other benefits. But the amount of paperwork and some of the other stuff that we would have to accomplish to get that isn't really worth it for us at this point. We just need to keep it open, get stuff coming in, get stuff going out. But yeah, and there are other ways that we can work if people want to help out, or if they're wanting just to donate time, money, whatever, books, all this stuff. We still take everything. I have not said no to any donations, even though we're busting at the seams right now.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So as far as like with the volunteers, and you're welcome to, it sounds like anyone is welcome. I know a lot of times, my son's only 10, and so we're not that high up in these things, but a lot of times things like Eagle Scouts and Trail Life, and they have projects where they need to earn badges, or they might need to document service hours. Is it possible for you to sign off on any of that kind of stuff if they need
Absolutely. It for the badges? Yeah. Our prior Book Shack patron had done that with some Eagle Scouts, and they made some shelves. But absolutely. I mean, we can work it out, figure out what they want to do, and let them go at it. And I'm more than happy to sign off on anything like that to help them out. That's part of that community involvement, I think, that we have to do, and drawing in that idea that we all need to be part of that bigger picture. So we're a ministry. The ministry is only going to work for the amount of activity and engagement that we get. And it takes all people to make it work. So yeah, definitely. I'm more than happy. I mean, we're actually attached really closely to the local 4-H. Well, I'm the leader of the new 4-H group. That's the other thing I'm doing. Okay. I've got my hands in so many pots right now, but that was another part of it, because at our 4-H meeting, because we're a homeschool 4-H group, I always remind the moms, I'm like, hey, while you're here, go to the Script'Morium. It's right in the backyard. Do you need anything while you're here? Do you want to hang out and organize? We're open right now, technically, I unlock it. So yeah, no, there's many ways to support and be part of it. And absolutely, I can sign off. I can give people, community hours, however we need to work within their organization to help them with that. So yeah.
Oh, that is awesome, because that's such a mutual benefit as well.
Absolutely.
I think one thing that people discount too is getting the word out on social media about what you have, because homeschool families travel. Hello, road schooling. And so why not pick up your curriculum on your way through Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Or you're only about 3.5 hours north of where I am here in Fort Worth. So there's potentially plenty of North Texas families that could just hop on over to
make it a day trip.
Anyway, take a day trip and go on up to Oklahoma and get your curriculum there.
Yes.
So, and it's such a mutual benefit, and it keeps this beautiful organization that you've got going.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I have really enjoyed that you've shared with us the history of Script'Morium and how it started out as the Book Samaritan, and then evolved a little bit to the Book Shack, and now is beautiful Script'Morium. So can you tell us about what future directions lie ahead? What's on the horizon for Script'Morium?
We do have some dreams, obviously, and my husband and I are really big on going big or going home sometimes. Something that I'd always thought was missing, since we do have so many books with the UPC codes and things like that, as I guess would be amazing if we could get it electronically inventoried And on top of that, once we get our website going, being able to post directly to the website what's available, so that if we ever did get to the place where we could do mail order, then people could just click and put it in their bag and then just pay the shipping and handling, because that's really all that would need to get covered. Is the actual curriculum is free, but then whatever directly pay for that shipping and handling piece, and then we could service nationwide, which ultimately the Book Samaritan, that was their dream, and that's what they were able to do. Now, they did have the church that sponsored the mail order at that point, so they had the funding, so it was completely free back then. We are not in the place to do that right now. I'm not sure if we'll ever get to that place, because we are just trying to keep the paperwork side of things just really low key and manageable. Part of the reason I think that the Book Samaritan got so exhausting for the volunteers was there was just that extra load that was too much. One of the balances that my husband and I fully understand is that Scripture talks about everyone needs to carry their own load, but the community needs to help with the burden. So part of the burden is just paying for curriculum. Well, we can help with part of that, but your part of the burden also needs to be accomplished, which could be paying for the mail order, if that's the choice you have, because you live 5 states away, and it's understandable. So that's that community I feel like is coming together. There are some other options that potentially future down the road. We may get some local churches who are willing to maybe sponsor towards a little account for people that are just really strapped, because I understand it. The economy is terrible, and homeschoolers, single income families, stuff like that. It's the reality that we deal with. But at the current point in time, we don't have all that set up, but we have some dreams. I have bought a domain name for Script'Morium, but it is not built. I am not a web builder. I've tried 3 separate times with 3 separate companies. My brother-in-law is a web builder, and I think I'm just eventually going to have to pull him. He's just got a lot of distractions on his plate right now, important things that he needs to deal with. But I'm really thinking I'm going to have him sit down with me. It's like, I don't need a crazy one, but that way people can maybe make reservations for coming to visit through the website. That's a big deal. And then, like I said, ultimately, big dreams that we get almost an in-out book, UPC guns coder thing, where we can see, we know we have it, and then we can go looking for it. And if people order it, we can box it up and send it off to them, and it could be really professional and awesome. But that is definitely well down the road, because we don't even have electricity in the building right now. So one step at a time. But we do have dreams, and we do hope to really grow it in that direction.
Oh, well, I speak faith and prosperity and just growth.
I receive it. Amen.
Yes, over this beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it has to start somewhere, and it has to start with the dream.
And if you talk about volunteers, if there's a volunteer out there who knows how to web build, like if they can fix my website for me, I'm in. Please contact me. That's a huge need, because like I said, I'm paying for the domain name to reserve it, but we have got nothing functional yet.
I will promote that one.
That's awesome.
Well, Devra, I want to thank you so much for your time today. And I know you've got a few public appearances or public speaking events coming up. Can you share those with us? People might actually get to meet you in person and learn more about Script'Morium.
Yes, I have been asked to go to the Homeschool Expo at Randall University in Oklahoma City, and I believe it's in June. I'd have to check my calendar, maybe in July. We're basically just going to have a table set up where we'll be sharing the information of the Script'Morium for now. I want to say I was asked to maybe do a 15-minute presentation, but I haven't got the follow-up on that yet. I'm more than happy to do that. Definitely going to be working towards getting the word out at as many places as possible, probably around this fall timeframe. So if there are events, and if people would like to know more about the Script'Morium, they can contact me. I have no problems coming in and talking to even just a group of homeschoolers. If you're just, hey, come talk to our group, or, is there, can we get some extra information? I have no problem with that, as long as I can work it into my schedule, and I'm usually pretty available, generally speaking. So no problems with that. It's just that's when I do know that we have upcoming for this summer, and then we usually have stuff that comes across in the fall. So I'll probably be looking to try and reach out to some of those as well. But at least I do have that one.
Okay. Well, I will definitely put in the show notes and the information about the upcoming expo that you have and how people can contact you so that they can find out about information that you have going on and so that they can find out about volunteer hours and how they can
Yes.
support you. We will put all of that in the show notes as well.
Great.
And thank you so much for your time today. We hope and pray that the Script'Morium continues to grow and continues to bless others because it is such a beautiful gift and a beautiful blessing to give the gift of education. I mean, that's really what you're giving. You're supporting it, supporting others so freely and so humbly and wholeheartedly. It's a beautiful ministry.
That's good to be appreciated. So yeah, I appreciate your time too.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Looking for ways your family can support this one-of-a-kind education ministry? Visit their Facebook page to learn more about all the wonderful things going on at Script'Morium Ministries. Need curriculum for the upcoming school year? What's better than free? Check out their hours on their Facebook page or contact Devra to learn how you and your family can shop the aisles of Script'Morium Ministries. Be blessed. And when you're done with your curriculum, turn around and bless others. Pay it forward. Get the word out. Share with others about all the amazing things going on at Script'Morium Ministries. Give them a shout out on social media. Let your homeschool groups know where they can find some amazing resources in the heart of America in Tecumseh, Oklahoma. Are you tech savvy? Maybe you have a teen who's pretty good at building websites and you would like to make a class out of it. As homeschoolers, we can make a class out of anything. Reach out and share your skills. Be a part of something that supports the homeschool community as a whole. Help this ministry grow. Be sure to tune in to episode 18, airing on Wednesday, June 14th, where we speak to Peggy Ployer, founder and CEO of SPED Homeschool. SPED Homeschool is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering families to help diverse learners reach their full potential at home. With the It's Only Homeschooling podcast, we invite your family to join ours for life lessons beyond the classroom. Through our Salt and Light Serve Spotlight series, we hope to inspire others to answer the call of service. We hope you'll make us one of your regular stops along the way in your homeschool adventures. Remember, education is a journey, not a destination. Until we meet again, take a deep breath and relax. It's only homeschooling.
Keep you safe, little one, walking